is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Lala and you're watching Lala Level Up. Today's video is going to be very open, honest, a little vulnerable in some parts, but I feel like I really just need to talk to my audience, which is all of you, and just say how I feel because, you know, my channel is a level up channel, which is pertaining to personal development and self-development and just trying to become a better version of myself, of yourselves, of ourselves. And I'm really passionate about that, just becoming a better version of myself. And that's not to say that I'm unsatisfied with where I am, or to say I need to try to get better and better and better because like I don't like this version of me. That's not what it is. But as like people, we are constantly evolving. You're supposed to learn and grow. Life is about growth. And I feel like if you're not growing, you're just standing still. And lately, I've really just been feeling just not myself. I have not been feeling like me. And honestly, I probably have not been feeling like myself for months. Probably since my birthday, like October, September. Like, I just went through a series of unfortunate events, a series of traumatic events, actually. And I feel like I've never really recovered. I'm not gonna cry about it because, like, come on now. But I just feel like I've never really recovered from, like, the traumatic things that I've experienced lately. Like, even stemming from last year, like, was it, like, yeah, well, I don't remember if it was 2021 or 2022. I want to say 2021. I experienced something super traumatic. And I feel like ever since then, like, it's kind of just been like a snowball effect of traumatic things happening to me and me not really truly making peace with it. Me not accepting it at times. I didn't let myself really process the things that I was experiencing, and it was happening like back to back to back to back. So it was just hard to just process everything because I'm like, you know what, I have to just keep moving because in life things are going to happen to you that are out of your control, and you just need to pick up the pieces and keep going. And I've done that, but I also have not dealt with the things that have happened to me. It was just so much. Like, it was 2021. Yeah, I was raped. That was really hard for me. And also because I feel like I put myself in that situation. I felt like I put myself in that situation even though I know I cannot take blame for somebody else's actions. I didn't make anybody harm me the way they did. So I can't say I put myself in that situation because even though I could have done things differently, I am not responsible for that person's actions. And then when I tried to do the right thing and, you know, get justice for myself, it never happened. I wasn't taken seriously, and it was never dealt with. The person never got arrested. The person was actually a police officer. I was actually raped by a police officer. So that also makes sense too on why, you know, I never got justice for it. Why he never got even arrested for it. Like, I really didn't get, I don't even want to think about it because it's going to make me sad. But like, when I think about it, it's like, y'all couldn't even arrest this nigga. But let me just keep going. I really didn't want to cry, but I really do need to talk about it because it's been heavy on my heart. Like, all of this shit has been heavy on my heart, and I feel like it shows. I feel like it shows through my YouTube videos. Oh, why am I crying? Oh, this is ghetto. But this is real and raw, and like, I'm a fucking human like you, right? But like, I feel like it shows through my YouTube videos. I feel like I'm not able to live up to the best version of me, which is what my whole channel is about, because I've just been dealing with so much trauma, and I haven't been able to really truly process it, or ever really get over it, or ever fully heal from the things that have happened to me within like the past couple years. So when that happened, it was really hard for me. But I just had to pick it up and just keep going. I couldn't let life stop because somebody violated me. I just had to keep going. So that's what I did. And then I would say 2021, it had its ups and it has its downs, you know, but that was tough. Last year, I felt like I was really just at war with myself, because I just felt like I was just kind of like in this hamster wheel, you know? I feel like I freed my mind, but I was still getting caught up in like these earthly things, you know? And I'm gonna come up with a video like that too. Maybe I'm gonna record it right after this one. Just talking about balance. I was getting caught up in a lot of earthly things, and I wasn't grounding myself the way I need to ground myself. Like, I know who I am, and I know what I need, and I know what's good for me, and I know what works for me. And what works for me is me really being knee deep into like my spiritual beliefs and my practices and shit that is actually feeds my fucking soul for real. Like, when I'm out in nature, that's when I'm in a real high vibration. When I'm reading books that fulfill me. When I'm listening to these inspirational podcasts. When I'm playing Abraham Hicks in the background of whatever I'm doing. When I'm, even with my tarot, when I'm doing things that I feel like align with me, bro, I feel like I'm good. I feel like when I step out of my spirituality and I dive too deep into the pits of earth is when I get messed up. And then when I'm too spiritual and I'm too much on this love and light, it's like, girl, you still a human. You still have to live your human experience. You got to live it with boundaries and standards, morals, but you still need to live, girl. So I'm going to come out with a video talking about talking about balance, but just to say, I felt really unbalanced last year, and I felt like I was just trying to come back to me. And then I started going through things with my body. I'm going to talk about that too. I feel like I've always struggled with my body my whole life. Like, just gaining weight, losing weight, like feeling unsatisfied with what I look like, or sometimes feeling super satisfied with what I look like. And when I don't look like that anymore, I feel like just bad about myself, you know? And then obviously growing up, family members commenting on my weight, that affected my self-esteem to some degree. So I was struggling with that. Also with my diet, like I was pescatarian for a minute. Then COVID came, I started doing the chicken and stuff. Then like I got really bad with like the red meat and stuff, and just gaining weight and stuff, and just like eating a whole bunch of fast food. When before that I was eating really healthy, and I felt like that really worked for me. I felt like I was in a better mood, and I was happier, and felt lighter, and I looked really good. My skin looked really good. And then like I noticed what I do is I like stress eat. So I would just eat because I'm stressed. I'm an emotional eater. So I would just be eating because I'm stressed, I'm bored, I'm lonely. I don't know who's calling me, but I don't really want to talk right now. That was actually my food calling me, which is so funny because we were just speaking about food. But yeah, so I'll emotional eat and then be upset when I gain the weight from emotional eating. Or I'll like binge eat, like I'll just be eating a lot at one time. But I'll talk about that later. So it was just like a lot of things going on at one time. And then at that time in my life, I was also working in an extremely stressful environment, more stressful than the norm. I'll probably speak about this too at another time, but I was working in an industry that was very stressful, very competitive, and very, very low vibrational. So just being in that environment every day and then having a stressful life once I'm out of that environment, it was just a lot for me. And there were pros for me at that time in my life as well, but it was just like a lot of negative too. Like, I can't even lie. So I decided, okay, well, I don't want to work in this industry no more because this is just too stressful for me. This is way too stressful for me. And I feel like it's not aligned with my purpose. I feel like being in this industry, I'm walking away from my purpose. I'm actually going in the opposite direction. So I was like, all right, it's time for something new. So I ended up getting a new job. While I was working that job, in the beginning, it was really hard because trying to switch over from the job I had before to the job I was now working, it was a hard transition because they were two completely different things. And I had to shift myself into a different mindset now. And I had to adjust to my now current lifestyle. And it was not easy for me at all. Like, I was struggling a lot, like severely struggling with my mental health, with my emotions, financially. Like, I was like really, really going through it, right? And then there ended up being some light at the end of the tunnel at that job. I ended up really liking it. It was something totally different, and I liked it. It was cool. And the people I worked with were great. I worked with amazing, amazing people all around my age group. It was like being around just your friends every day. Like, it was cool. It's how it's supposed to be at a job. You go there, you enjoy what you do, you enjoy the people you're around, the location, everything. Like, it was good. It ended up being good. In the beginning, it was hard, but after I got adjusted and, I made friends there, it was good. And then they ended up firing me. Wrongfully, may I add. So they ended up terminating me for no reason. Like, it's a long story, and honestly, there's a lawsuit going on with it right now. I'm actually in the middle of a lawsuit with them right now, so I can't really go into it. But long story short, they fired me wrongfully. So already I was going through so much with my mental health, and then they fired me. And then it was just like so much, because it's like I tried to leave the industry I was working in because it was stressful for me. So now I'm trying to do something else. I'm trying to do better for myself. And these niggas end up firing me wrongfully. Not even some shit I deserved. If I deserved it, I deserved it. I didn't deserve it. And I was so depressed. Like, while working at that job, I was depressed internally. I was happy with the people I was working with, but inside I was still depressed. Like, I would be crying at that job all the time. I would be so emotionally unstable at that job. I would have to tell my supervisors, I'm mentally unfit right now. I have to go. Like, on some real shit. Like, this is real shit. Like, I'm speaking about some real shit right now. Like, I was really going the fuck through it last year. And people knew at the job, like, I was going through it. Like, I was very emotional. I was making suicidal statements. Like, I was not in the right state of mind. And my supervisor knew that, and she still fired me. But nonetheless, so I'm already going through a lot. Then I get fired at that job. Then I'm like, ooh. It's just like, it was like one thing after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next. And I'm the type of person, I think I said this before in one of my videos, I can handle stuff. Like, I can handle it. I'm strong. I've been through a lot. My mother is a strong woman. Genetically, I'm just strong. Like, I can handle things, But I seem to not really be good at handling things when I'm overwhelmed. So when it's like one thing after the other, that's when I start to like shut down. Because then it's like just too much. Like, I just noticed when I'm overwhelmed, I'm not good. And I'm sure that's like with everybody, but me specifically, when I'm intensely overwhelmed, like, it's just not good for me. And people who know me for real know that. And also when I don't get enough sleep, I'm not good when I don't sleep. But yeah, so I was very overwhelmed. I was going through a lot of stuff. So I ended up losing my job. Shortly after, my car ended up breaking down. I ended up losing my car. Then I ended up losing my apartment. I was so backed up on my rent because, like I told you, I was struggling financially. So I ended up losing my job, losing my car, losing my apartment. I had to go back and live with family, which nobody ever wants to do, especially when you're grown and you're an adult and you've been on your own for years. Nobody wants to go back home living with family, you know? But I had to do that. I had to go back and get my things together, right? So I'm already in this extremely low place in my life, right? All those things I just explained to you that happened to me, right? And then I end up moving in with my family member, and I'm only living there for like 2 weeks at this time. The plan was only to be there for maybe the most, like 4 months. I was going to work, save money, and take my ass to Miami. Like, I was ready to just pick up and leave. I still want to pick up and leave and just go to a whole nother state, be in the sun, on the beach, in the water, like literally. So I was living with this family member, and I told them that they knew the plan. I was going to be there temporarily, save my bread, move to Florida. Cool. I'm there only 2 weeks at the time, and my family member is already asking me when I'm going to move out. So you could imagine my level of frustration, depression, restlessness, and just feeling like in my brain, like I'm freaking losing it, you know? Because it's just like I'm already on the fucking ground. Like, how many more times am I going to get kicked when I'm already on the ground? At this time, I feel like I'm under the ground. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, family member, you told me one thing, now you're saying another. And I'm helping you while I'm there. It's not like I'm there and I'm being a leech and I'm taking advantage of you. No, I'm helping you while I'm there. So it's kind of just like, damn, you too. So it was just a lot. As you can tell, I felt like my life was really falling apart. I felt like I was really spiraling bad. So I'm already in this low state. And they always say, be very mindful about the energies that you attract when you're not at your best. Sometimes when you're down and out, you can meet people who really help you. And then sometimes you can be down and you can end up meeting somebody who wants to keep you down instead of lifting you up. There are people who will see you at your worst and want to take advantage of you. And that's what happened to me. I ended up getting involved with somebody who was trying to make advances towards me for a really long time. I always ignored them. But I think at this point in my life, I was just like so down. Like I just really just wanted a friend. And I just wanted to like get out of my situation. Like I just wanted to get out of that house. I told y'all my car had just broken down, and I just so badly just wanted to get out of the house. I just wanted to be around somebody who was just gonna distract me and just like give me some type of peace that I felt like I didn't have. And when I first met this person, initially, that's what they gave me, a lot of peace for 2 weeks. A lot of what I perceived to be love. And it was not that. It was not that. Maybe it was some twisted version of love, but I don't resonate with that. But long story short, I'm not going to get into the whole thing now. Maybe that's a story for another day, or maybe that's a story I'll never tell. But to keep it short, I dated somebody and it was a very abusive situation, and it deteriorated my mental health even more. I was already going through so much, and then I ended up getting involved with somebody. And initially, I felt so much love, like an intense amount of love. And then drastically, it turned from love to hate, from joy to pain. And it was a complicated situation because it's like, bro, I love you. And we've had good moments to now it's like, I don't even know who you are. Or clearly this is who you were the whole time and I didn't see it. Or I was just so blinded because I was not in a good place myself, so I was just trying to see the light in you. I don't think I'm wrong for trying to see the light in this person. I don't think this person's all bad at all. But I do think that it was a very toxic situation and I had no business being in it to begin with. And that's why when God talks to you, you need to listen, because I always dubbed this person because God was telling me, like, sometimes you don't know why you do things, and then later on it ends up coming full circle, and then you end up getting the point. This person was always trying to talk to me, and for some reason, like, I just didn't ever pay him no mind. Like, I really never paid him any mind. I'd probably respond here and there. I'd give him a response, but it was just, I just knew, like, I just don't want nothing to do with you. And God knew I was way too good for this person, and they knew I was too good for them too. And in hindsight, I believe that they know that the only reason why I even gave them a chance was because I was just so broken at that point in my life that I was not even thinking clearly. And I just saw somebody, I mistook what it was. At that time, I thought it was love. It was not love. It was the farthest thing from love. And it was really bad. It wasn't like a little bad. It was terrible. When I think about it now, I still cry about it. It was honestly only a few months ago. But it was terrible. Terrible. Horrible. Extremely traumatizing. And I was not perfect in that situation. I definitely did wrong too. But damn, it was bad. So all of this was going on at one time, and I was just really going through it. Like, I was just not right. So I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like, I just need to get on some meds at this point, because I just felt so emotionally unstable. Like, I really felt like low-key psychotic. Like, I just felt like my mind was erratic and like my emotions were everywhere. And then even in the situation with this person, it's hard because, like, I'm giving you my body every day. Like, I'm being vulnerable with you every day. I'm giving you my body every day. So for me to give you my body one day, and like the next day, your hands are around my neck, it's just hard to take that in, you know? And like I said, I wasn't perfect, but it was really hard to take that in. And that was also the first time where I was in a relationship where we're having sex every day. I'm giving you my body every day. I dated women for a long time, and then I didn't date anybody for years. And this is the first relationship that I got back in. And the first time I was having sex with a man every day. Like, I've never done that. I've just never done that. My sexual experiences have been very different from anybody I know. So me giving my body to a man is a bigger deal than me giving my body to a woman. Me having sex with a woman is like, okay, whatever. Having sex with a man for me is like, it's more of a big deal for me. I mean, I'm a bit older now, but definitely like a few years ago, it was just a big deal. But even still now, like, it's just a big vulnerable thing for me. It just is. And yeah, I was doing that every day. So needless to say, my emotions were very open. It took some trial and error, but I ended up leaving this person. I ended up doubling back a little bit, but I ended up leaving this person. And things start looking up for me. When I decided mentally, even before I physically did it, when I decided mentally that I was done with this person, that's when I got approved for my new apartment. And so like I told you, me living with that family member, my plan was to stay there for a few months, then move to Florida. But now my family member is asking me every day, and I've only been there 2 weeks, when I'm gonna leave. Like, so at that point I felt pressured. I'm like, okay, clearly my plan is not gonna work out. Now I have to shift gears. So it was just so much. So I'm like, wow, I had a whole freaking game plan. Now I have to switch this whole thing up. So it was just so much for me. Like, this was one of the most stressful times of my life, for real. It was just really a lot of stress for me. You know, like I said, when I decided mentally, like, I'm not gonna be with this person anymore, that's when God blessed me with the beautiful apartment that I'm in now. And I'm grateful for that. I'm happy for that. I'm in a new location. I'm somewhere new, somewhere I've never really been. And I'm still in my home state, but I'm somewhere different. And I have opportunity to meet new people here and just feel a different vibe. And initially, like, I was really happy. You know, when I moved here, I was really happy. I felt like really good, on a good track. The job I was working was good. I actually work from home, which is great. I recently ended up getting another job, so I'm happy because obviously that's more money. I'm not so happy because I'm like, wow, I'm gonna be working like a damn slave, but I wanted more money. I asked for it and I got it. But I just feel like I have not been back to myself. Like, when I first moved here, I was good, but still, like, I just feel like I have not been me for a really long time. And you know, back in the fall, that's when I got on medication, and I felt like I really needed it. I felt like I was just going through a lot, and it ended up helping me a lot at that time. A lot. It helped really neutralize my emotions. My emotions were like this. Like, you know how you see like a heart monitor and it just goes like this? That was my emotions. That's the emotions of a bipolar depressed person with anxiety. Like, it just go like that, right? And it's very temperamental. Anything just sets you off, right? And you can literally be smiling one moment, sad the next, right? Okay. So at this time, I really just needed the medication. It was good for me. It helped me. I have a good team, a good psychiatrist, a good therapist, you know? That's kind of like my only support, but it's good. All the support I need, I guess. So the medications helped me. It's made me more neutralized of my emotions, but it's also had a negative effect too. I feel like my personality is very much watered down. I feel like I smile less. I feel like I have less motivation and drive. I feel very lazy, and I feel like a lot of weight, honestly. Like, I really feel like sluggish. I feel like I don't have as much energy as I used to have, and I just don't have this light about myself that I used to have. And I think that, you know, the medication plays into it, yes. But also just all of the things that I experienced in a short amount of time, and never really truly processing it and just trying to sweep it under the rug because I didn't want to have a mental breakdown. Even though I had it anyway, I just wanted to be strong, and I wanted to keep going, and I wanted to just see what was on the other side of the white picket fence or whatever. I don't know. I was just trying my best to heal, but I never really healed. I didn't really heal. I didn't really heal because I ended up just feeling so much regret about so many things. I've never really had regrets in my life. I always believe that everything happens for a reason, and even if it's something negative, it was there to help me learn or grow, to realize something about myself or about somebody else. That's how I like to think. That's how I like to live. But I just started feeling so much regret. Regret for even leaving my industry and working that job. Regret for not taking care of my car, and that's why it broke down. Regret for not, I don't know, communicating with my landlord so I wouldn't lose my apartment. Regret over so many things. Dating this person who I dubbed for so long because God was trying to tell me something. So getting involved with somebody who just really fucked me up, bro. Like, that shit really fucked me up emotionally. Really. So just so many things. Feeling even regret about what happened with that police officer. Feeling like I put myself in that situation. So it was just so much freaking regret. Like, and I was just blaming myself for so much. Just saying, like, it's my fault. And it wasn't my fault. Not everything was my fault. Some things I could take accountability for. Some things I cannot. And I'm just at a place now where I really want to cultivate peace in my life and really get back to me. And even though the meds have helped me with my emotions, I don't want to be on them anymore because I feel like I'm not LaQuelle. I feel like I'm a watered down version of myself. And I don't like that for me. So I'm gonna get off these meds, and I'm gonna just find ways to deal with my emotions. And if I ever feel like I'm not good, I'm not scared to go back and see my psychiatrist. But I just really feel like I need to get back to who I was, like, in 2019. You know? Even 2020. 2020 was a good ass year for me. I know a lot of people went through a lot in 2020, but it was a good year for me. I don't know. I'm not going to say the past couple of years have been bad completely, but it's just been a lot of trauma for me in a short amount of time. And it's really affected me on every level. And I feel like I'm not the best version of me right now. And it doesn't sit well with me at all. It doesn't sit well with me at all. Not only because I have this YouTube channel that is promoting the highest, level of well-being and stuff like that, but also as myself as a person. Like, I just feel like I'm not living up to the standard that I want to live. And I'm not the best version of myself right now. I'm not happy the way I need to be happy. And it's between me and me, it's between me and me. But I really realized that, and I don't know, maybe I do know, maybe I don't know. But I just needed to make this video today, really for myself. I needed to make this video for myself and just talk freely and openly about things that have really been weighing on my shoulders, This video was a little bit heavy. Not really my intention, but it just kind of came out that way. Yeah, like the video, subscribe, leave your comments if you want to comment. I don't like rude comments, so don't comment if you're gonna be rude. And I guess that's kind of it. Sorry if my energy is a little bit down. I'm just, talking about some shit. But I'm appreciating you for being here. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for watching this video today. And that was a lot to say, a lot to open up about, but I'm happy I did. I needed to get it off my chest. And it kind of just felt like a nice little therapy session. So yeah, proud of myself for talking about it. And I hope everybody is having a beautiful day. This is actually Memorial Day. I hope y'all enjoy your Memorial Day and had a good weekend. Went out to a cookout or whatever y'all do. And shout out to all of the people who have served our country. And yeah, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, you can be, do, and have whatever you desire. You are limitless. Until next time, LALA level up.